So in what ways do you see the world has changed as far as employees and engagement goes?
Well, obviously we say COVID, but something else happened because now people are not working in their offices still. And I mean, so many more than I thought. You guys at Ramsey went back like within the month, and we were about 2 months. And so I kind of assumed more people were doing that. And I'm meeting a lot of young people who are still not working in their office. And I realize now it's not about COVID. Their companies, I think, they're either trying to shave some money from paying more rent, or they just don't want to have to tell somebody they have to put their pants on and drive to work.
That's it.
But what's amazing is it's stuck. Now there is no assumption that to have a job you have to go to work, which means people don't know each other very well at work. And most of the young people I know do not work in an office. And as a result of that, they're not some of the most fundamental things that we need in our jobs we're not getting. Now, I love the fact that some jobs you don't have to go in every day and you have more freedom. I get that. I totally do. But the most critical things we need in our jobs are often not happening today. And so there's a whole new generation of workers that are going to think that that's normal, to not truly know the people that you work with. And I think that's a real dangerous thing.
Yeah. Well, there's some interesting data. Gallup State of Workplace 2022 says that employees that are not engaged or actively disengaged cost the world $7.8 trillion in loss of productivity, which is 11% of the global GDP. So this is crazy. And you've talked about how productivity levels are falling. And a lot of the work from home folks are saying, I'm way more productive at home. So how do we define productivity? What's actually happening there?
Well, I mean, of course, that's like asking my kids if staying at home and just doing their work at school, is better. And they're going to say, sure. And it's like staying up late at night, like asking a 17-year-old, hey, do you think you should get more sleep? No, I think I'm fine with 4 hours sleep. Well, of course, employees that don't want to put their pants on and come to work will say they're more productive. And in some jobs, they are. But the truth is, what we're not measuring or capturing is all the things that happen in between meetings, in between Zoom calls. So much of what happens in my life and in my world here at work happens in between things. And that's where, we know each other. That's where things happen that we didn't plan on happening, and lots of innovation and collaboration. And so to think that we can actually carve that out into 45-minute Zoom calls is crazy. And I know, I worked at home too. It is pretty easy to go watch an episode of Seinfeld in between meetings. And since I love my kids, and when they were home, I spent a lot of time hanging out with them, which is wonderful. But when it comes to productivity, that is not necessarily good. And again, I'm all for an increased level of flexibility around family and all these things. Don't get me wrong. But to think that productivity is going to stay the same if people aren't working in a workplace is silly. And so I think the numbers bear it out. I just saw a week ago, the government came out with numbers, said productivity is really, really low right now. And that is how much are we actually getting done for the time that we're working. So it's a real problem. It's going to affect our economy. It's going to affect it already is. It's going to affect, more importantly, human relationships, I think, too.